honestly, I can't even do it today. Like, what? I'm sorry, this is a bit distracting. I got, what the? Take the scissors away from me, guys. Take the scissors away from me. Sorry if this is too distracting. I'm trying to fix it. If you guys hear little children in the background, just ignore them, okay? What the? Okay, that's better. That's better because don't let me get near the scissors. Literally. I'll give you guys a few minutes to come in the chat. What? Why? Why would you let me get close to the scissors, babe? You know me. I'm not a real adult, okay? I don't look like one either. Don't let me near the scissors. Hey, Rosie. How are you? So, I wanted to talk about the new documents and I want to talk about Dylan. I don't want to talk about my hair. I don't want to talk about my hair. I did it myself. And we're going to be talking about women and jealousy and rage. Because let's be real. Let's be real. If there's I know there's a lot of women. Women love true crime. There's a lot of guys in here as well. But let's be real. If you have ever been conventionally attractive and you're a female watching me right now, let me know. Are you conventionally attractive? I am conventionally attractive, I think. And there's actually studies that show that if you're conventionally attractive, you're gonna have a harder time in life when it comes to everything. And this matters because we're gonna be talking about Kaylee and Dylan Mortensen and potential jealousy. By the way, the reason I took scissors to my own hair instead of paying someone is because there are so many studies showing that women who perceive other women as conventionally attractive, especially if they work in the beauty industry, like if I go to a hairdresser and she's like, oh my gosh, she's too pretty. They have done these studies and you know what these women will do? They will fuck your hair up, fuck your makeup up on purpose, okay? They have actually studied this. I spent $600,000 on a master's degree in psychology so that you don't have to. Women will do this to other women if they perceive them as prettier, as more attractive than them. Okay, this is a fact, babe. This is a fact. Don't argue with me. So, you know what? Why would I let a bitch fuck my hair up and then me have to pay her for it? I'll just fuck my own hair up. And why are we even talking about jealousy, Nika? Because bitches are bitches. If you are conventionally attractive, if you are beautiful and your beauty is not digestible enough, if you're not a basic ass looking bitch, if there's anything about you that remotely stands out, women will target you. Recently, well, maybe a few months ago, I went to a social gathering. 3 older women, 3 older men. They're literally, I don't know, 15 years older than me. They're all married. They all have kids. 66% of the women in there didn't address me. In fact, they avoided eye contact. They spoke amongst themselves. Why? Because, well, bitch, I'm so cute. And again, this isn't about me. This is about Kaylee. This is about Dylan. It's not about me. Okay, this was personal. By the way, before I get started, because I'm on my obviously caffeinated rant. By the way, thank you guys for all the cash apps because I have been spending that money wisely on caffeine. Anyway, this was personal. It was overkill. We know Kaylee was pulverized. She was turned to mashed potatoes. Okay, she was pretty much unrecognizable. Let's also not forget that they all had defensive wounds, meaning everybody in the house was fighting for their lives. Unlike what the state and Bill Thompson originally told us, that they were all sound asleep. They didn't feel a thing. Lies, lies. Ethan Chapin had wounds all over his hands, okay? Now, I was in the military, therefore, I know a lot of men that were also serving with me, and I asked a few of them about being in physical combative situations with a knife, because, you know, we a lot of us were given K-bars. And they all said that they could not fathom one man going through all of those victims in such little time, because now people are saying it was done in 4 minutes. And the state is saying Brian was in the nude. By the way, have you guys kept tabs on that? Because they're saying Brian was in the nude. A lot of people haven't paid attention. We know that there's a lot of documents, overwhelming amount of documents, but they're saying he did it in the nude. And with all of those inflicted wounds, and Kohberger not have any injuries either, not to mention some of the victims had experimental wounds. Now, from the beginning, people were 100% sure that Brian was the only one involved. Now, we have new and redacted documents, and people are finally, thank goodness, waking up and asking questions. Okay, reminder, these are videos I make. I'm speculating, I am theorizing. These videos are for entertainment purposes only, because I know a lot of families out there are watching my videos, a lot of families of potentially victims, and they're sending a lot of maybe weird messages. We'll leave it at that. Okay, reminder, some of the victims had cracked skulls, fractures throughout, and this means excessive blunt force was used. And Xana and Ethan were in the same room, and we were supposed to believe that Brian Kohberger cracked both of their skulls at the same time. These are the same people that believe that Epstein unalived himself. Or these are the same people that believe that that scientist with multiple bullet holes took his own life. Okay, people still believe that Brian Kohberger, who had zero ties to anyone at 1122 King Road, went into the home not knowing the layout, not knowing the victims, seeing so many cars in the driveway, and still had the nads to go in there, according to the state, naked, and unalive 4 people in 4 minutes, wearing no clothing, guys, wearing no clothing. It's ridiculous. Now, a friendly reminder, because there's a lot of you guys that are new to the channel, and a lot of you guys sometimes miss the little details, and those little details are not so little. They're actually really important. We cannot allow anything to escape. And by the way, there's a lot of people that say I like to twist things. This is called framing in psychology. This is called framing in the world of law. If you've ever known a lawyer, if you've ever been in that world, it's called framing, okay? I'm giving you several perspectives so that you're not just like this, just one way, right? Just one way, right? Now, open your eyes, babes. The house was well lit. A lot of people miss that. The lights were on, and we're supposed to believe that the assailant came in through the sliding door. And what would the assailant see as soon as he's walking through this door? It won't stay down. Give me tips, tricks, whatever. What the heck is going on in the chat? It's popping off. I'm sorry. Is everyone okay? Is everyone okay in the chat? If the assailant is coming in through the sliding door, now we know that all the lights are on. What would be right there in front of him? Dylan's room. That's right, Dylan Mortensen's room. And he just went in there right past it. And instead, we're supposed to believe that he said, nah, fam, I'm gonna go to the 3rd floor instead and go unalive Maddie and Kaylee first, but without knowing who would be there. The assailant would then be trapping himself in that floor because the assailant didn't know who stayed in that room. He didn't know it was Dylan. He had no connection, no ties, no stalking of any of the victims, right? In fact, we know that because Bill Thompson had to get his old Santa Claus ass out there and say, we actually messed up, and actually, we know that he did not stalk any of the victims. The state made a fool of themselves. That man should have been retired 4 decades ago. That's all I'm gonna say about Bill. But he would have potentially trapped himself. Again, he didn't know who stayed in that room. He didn't know it was Dylan. It could have been a 300-pound bodybuilder for all they knew. The assailants didn't know how many people were inside that house. This was a well-known party house, okay? There could have been over a dozen people for all the assailant or assailants knew, unless someone on the inside, a snake on the inside, tipped them off. Unless a snake on the inside told them that it was safe to enter 1122 King Road. Okay, Dylan says listen to the body cam footage closely, please, that the intruder saw her and didn't do anything. And we know the lights were on. And we know that she saw Xana in her underwear. Never mentions blood. She saw her lips, didn't do anything. I will never believe she didn't see blood. I'm never gonna believe that. The lights are on. For people that are saying she could have been hallucinating, Since when is alcohol, since when is it considered hallucinogenic? It is not. It is not. Stop with the nonsense. Okay? I mean, the blood is everywhere, for God's sakes. It's in the living room. It's all over the beer pong table. And the lights were on. She didn't see any red fluid? Or did she see it and just not give a damn and just ignore it? I don't know. I wasn't there. I'm just asking questions. Okay? Dylan is saying, I'm not sure. I don't remember. I don't know if this is real or not. Yet the whole Koberger timeline is based on all of her interviews, but we see her admitting she doesn't know anything. Okay, this is infuriating. The fact that the roommates were never questioned as suspects and cleared is not only baffling, but it also calls into question the competence of Moscow PD. We know this is a corrupt police department. This is not the first time they have been corrupt. If you have been in this channel for, I don't know, how long have we been here now, fam? Like 4 years? You know about the Soviet Moscow case that I covered. They were doing things that they were breaking the law. The people that have to uphold the law were breaking the law. So they have a record of doing the wrong thing. They have a record of not upholding the law. They have a record of being, I don't want to say even having a few bad apples. At this point, it's like the whole thing is rotten. You burn it and start from scratch at this point. I've always thought that Dylan was jealous of Kaylee. If you're just coming in, go to the beginning, listen to some studies that I cited regarding female jealousy. Okay, it's a problem. Okay, if you're a pretty woman, you always have to tone down your looks around other bitches because they be jealous. They be eyeing you up and down and not saying a damn thing. But if you're a basic Betty, hey, oh my God, you're so beautiful. Let's be for real. Okay, well, I wasn't born yesterday. And when I see the pictures of Kaylee and Dylan is in that picture, ooh, I have seen that look for forever from women. Okay, that is the look, in my opinion, of a jealous woman, a woman full of envy and hate, and she cannot stand you. That is what I see when I see Dylan looking at Kaylee. I am not saying she's involved, but I'm definitely picking up on evil, jealous, biatch vibes, okay? Not only that, but she doesn't seem bothered or disturbed at all, especially after such a gruesome crime in the house, okay? This is the star witness, and no one is crying or panicking in the interviews. That, when I listen to Dylan's interviews with the cops, when you listen to her tone, when you see her body language, it's really, really concerning. And I know that other people as well are finally starting to pick up on this, because I called Dylan out 4 years ago and people attacked me. People threatened me. They said they were going to send people to my house and unalive my family and blah, blah, blah. And my kids were going to be chopped to bits. And it's like, now some of those same people have actually reached out to me on Instagram or through YouTube, and they're like, Nika, I'm so sorry that I was so violent and so aggressive. You're actually right. You're actually right about everything. The last photo of all the roommates, the look on Dylan's face is evil, in my opinion. Yeah, she's got this, like, I don't know. She's got this K-bar look in her eyes. But that's my personal opinion. I am not saying she was involved. We're just asking questions. Let me know if any of you guys, especially if you are a woman yourself and you are an attractive female, you're conventionally attractive, or you have experienced jealousy from jealous ass motherfucker bitches, let me know. Because if you have, then you you understand where I'm coming from, and you understand if you have experienced that type of jealousy from women, you know the look. You know the look. And in my opinion, Dylan just has that look. She can't stand Kaylee. But let me know what you guys thought about this video. Do you think that it's possible that there was a snake on the inside that told them that it was safe to enter 1122 King Road? Did a snake tip off the assailant or assailants? I don't know. I wasn't there. But thank you guys for joining me today. See you guys soon. Whatever you do, don't go to Idaho. Also, stay away from scissors.